day to move on from the Syracuse game last Wednesday before another tough matchup for first Virginia this Friday. Can you talk about what it says about your team to be able to put such a tough game behind you and then force extra points in 2 of the 3 sets on Friday night?
Yeah. Well, the girls, the team as a whole, they were really disappointed with our effort on Wednesday against Syracuse. We came out dead, then we died. And that, right across the board, everybody knew that's not us. That was a bit of an anomaly. We hadn't put a performance like that in a while, and nobody was terribly comfortable with it. The tough part is the quick turnaround. You don't get, with only 1 day of practice, you don't get a whole lot of time to really address too many things. But the flip side of it is you get a very quick opportunity to show that that wasn't us. And I think the girls really kind of jumped on that, the idea of demonstrating that we're a better volleyball team than what we put on the floor against Syracuse. And so I think they did a nice job of that on Friday against UVA. We came out to a little bit of a slow start, but then picked it up quite nicely throughout that match.
And obviously you haven't had the results of late that you would like to, but your team has played really well, and you've been in a lot of close matches. Can you just talk about the team's effort in those games?
Yeah, right. We've gone to extra points, probably between a third to a half of the sets we've played in the last 3 weekends, and there are a couple of things to read into that. One is the spirit of this group to keep fighting, to keep trying to get incremental improvement and keep getting better. And for that, I'm really proud of them. That makes them a very fun group to coach. They show up in the gym with enthusiasm, with energy. This is not, coming out on the losing end, is not beating them down. And that's a testament to their spirit and just, their commitment to what they're trying to do. For us, when you're getting that close, it's not really about just those last 2 points. There are certain opportunities that we have to learn how to recognize and capitalize on within the course of any one rally, whether it's recognizing a free ball or down ball, or when we've got an opportunity to really make a great pass and be in system rather than an average pass and being sort of in system. It's those opportunities that pop up relatively frequently. Now, when you're at 25 all, they may not pop up in the next 2 points. So for us, it's really the last couple of weeks, we've really been less concentrated on particularly just how do you win per se, more in those last 2 points, and more about getting from 0 to 22 or 0 to 23. Those opportunities are going to happen at some point 4 or 5 times. Are we recognizing them then? And if we do a better job of that, then you're less likely to be in a 2-point game at the end, or you're getting to 24 when the other team's still at 20. So you're avoiding the situation to begin with. If you only really try to concentrate on getting those opportunities in the last 2 points, they may not happen. So it's really about recognizing those plays earlier in the set, and we've done a better job of it. That's why we've gotten into these close sets that are 25-23, 26-24, 29-27 against Virginia Tech. We've gotten into those a lot because we've done a better job of it. We're improving, but we're not at the final point yet, and that's just the iterative process. And now that we've moved to a 6-2, we've got more players involved, more moving parts. There's an advantage offensively and blocking by having a bigger front row consistently, but those players are still also getting used to each other a little bit, and that's just the nature of the system we've got.
After Friday's game, you talked about, and you just mentioned it a little bit, but you talked about the focus on those first half points, the 0 to 20, and obviously you said that was something you were going to work on. How do you, as a coach, how do you address that, and how do you work on that? Obviously, you say it's something that needs to be done, but is there a way you can actually take
there's no specific drill per se that's just a magic fix. There is no magic bullet. We try to pick up the pace of practice. The balls enter into drills quicker. People are having to have quicker and faster reaction times, so they learn to respond quicker. And then within that sequence of balls, maybe it's a 2 or 3 ball sequence in one cycle. Within that, throwing in one ball that is the kind of one that we're looking at, like a down ball from a back row player. That's all of a sudden we should be able to slow the game down a little bit, make a perfect pass, and get a kill right away. So it's trying to pick up that pace and do it while emotionally really invested. That's not just mundane drill work going through the same stuff. It's trying to compete and drive a pace that's actually faster than the match. So when it happens in the match, it actually feels a little slower and a little bit easier.
And the final question: your next 2 games are against a number 18 Florida State team who is first in the conference, and Miami, who is tied for 3rd in the conference. What is about those 2 teams that you have seen them? Why are they at the top of the conference? What do they do? And how do you focus on your approach for this week?
Yeah, right. They have 2 very different styles. Florida State is, they're always very big, very physical. They're a big presence blocking. They count on being able to slow the ball, slow down your attack just with the presence of their block. So the way to counter them a little bit is a lot of what we talked about just now, recognizing opportunities that you can get in system, put a little pressure on their block to have to catch up to you. The other one is on the serve and pass line and being able to serve and drive them out of system enough that's a little bit difficult for them to run their middles. And then it becomes a bit more of a high ball game at the pins, and we're pretty good at those long rallies once we can get it going. And if we can defend the first attack and get into the longer rally, then we do a pretty nice job. Miami's in a 5-1, which is a little bit of a different system than Florida State, and they're not quite as big. They're a little bit kind of play a style a bit more like us, a little bit quicker tempo, a little bit quicker middles. And for them, to some degree, it's kind of a similar thing. If you can keep them out of system, then you've got fewer hitters to concentrate on. So, for us, we probably aren't going to out jump or out physical a lot of teams in the ACC, just because it's one of the most physical conferences in the country. But we can out ball control some teams, and that's going to be key for us this weekend.
Awesome, thank you, Coach.
Great, thank you.